Welcome to this episode of the Fly Girls Guide podcast. I am so excited today to have Nicki Harricharan with me. She is doing amazing things to help our airspace all over the world grow in safety. Nicki, welcome to the show. Can you tell everyone what it is that you do?
Hi, thank you so much, Renee. Super excited for this. My name is, again, Nicki Harricharan, currently with the CANSO organization, which is the Civil Air Navigation Services organization for representing ANSPs, which is Air Navigation Service Providers. And I currently run their global operations program. So everything related to operations within air traffic management, we just help and represent air navigation service providers in this arena.
And so you're working with people. I know one of the challenges with this is that not everybody does airspace like the United States does airspace. What are some of the big obstacles that you're overcoming in trying to bring everyone to kind of a common page and a common practice?
Well, as I mentioned, right, everyone has their own priorities and their own thought process on how they do things. However, the global mindset is how do we harmonize that, right? How do we harmonize whether it be air traffic flow management, whether it be trajectory-based operations, which is very future and forward thinking, and how do we also maybe even integrate space launches, which is a new and very common thing right now, including advanced air mobility, right? All these air taxis and drones, how do you safely do it from an operational perspective?
Right. So it's requiring a ton of collaboration as these aircraft or rockets or drones are crossing borders and having best practices with different cultures and different military objectives and different technology in some of these places. Some of our retired equipment here in the United States goes to other countries, but then they're not up to par with what we're doing from a sophistication standpoint with all of the aircraft that we have moving around in the United States. Um,
Yes.
I can imagine that this is not always an easy job. And I'm wondering if you could tell us what skills or characteristics you think someone needs to have to be successful in doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. That's a good question, Renee. So I do think that you need to have problem solving skills. I do think that you need to have collaboration skills. So I think the key in collaboration is building relationship and building trust. And in order to do that, you need to be a great listener, right? You need to listen to others' perspective because it may not always be the same and everyone thinks differently, right? So it's always good to hear various perspective. Culturally, things are different. So honestly, being present and listening to someone else's perspective and then being able to relate back to them in whatever topic it is that you are conversing about within aviation.
You know, one of the things that I love is like you're solving problems on a global stage. You're really coordinating big things. And I know that that's not where you started out. So, how did you get a background strong enough to be taken seriously in this role?
Oh, that's another good question. I would say I started out with the Federal Aviation Administration, so the FAA, background wise as a controller, both in the Washington Center and New York Center. I was a supervisor there. And then most recently in the FAA Command Center out in Warrenton, Virginia, where I held various positions. So, how I got throughout those positions, I think it was really good mentorship as well as diving deep and always learning and being curious and coming out or taking myself out of my own comfort zone, which is always a big deal, I think, for me.
100%. What words of wisdom to share in just such a short podcast. Thank you so much, Nicki, for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Renee.